working class dad, Me Myself Akai and all that. And right now you're watching MPC Mind Power Composition Series. I'd say my musical and influences background stem a lot from my dad, obviously my parents, but a lot of, I'd say, African music, West Indian, obviously, you know, like Keep the Bucket, you know, Gregory Isaacs and stuff like that, and then like obviously, you know, like your Motown, your Stevie, your Sam Cooke, that kind of more or less influenced me growing up, and I think I fell in love. Best album, one of the best albums of my existence is Stevie Wonder, In the Key of Life. That I'd say, yeah, that album there is me. I first acquired my first piece of musical instrument through obviously the person I was doing music with, Ram. Big up Ram, even though we don't talk no more, but I mean, I was in a group called Two Halves, and even before that we were in a crew called NWC, so I think it was about 99, 2000, I think maybe just a bit earlier, to be honest with you, 98, and it was this man, a Yamaha sampling, SU10 sampling unit, and basically what I would do is I'd loop, like I'll get a drum loop, put a drum loop on one pad and have that looping, and then I'll just like whatever my sample is on the next pad, and I'll just be playing that shit in. And then if you see, like, there's a reverse button, so you can hold the reverse and the sample and we're doing some, like, you know, little some. But yeah, I made I don't know if you heard of it, a song called Freedom Fighters, which is me, Kalashnikov, Jehst, Kaiser. It's still doing the rounds on YouTube. Just type in Freedom Fighters and any of them names and it should come up. But yeah, it was made of this shit, man. I'd say I don't think I was shown the ropes. I think I was shown the ropes at a distance and then shown the ropes. I'd have to big up two people in terms of showing me, in terms of like how to do music, because you know, like when I had that Yamaha, before even knowing the Yamaha SU10 or anything, my man Jamie Adam, he worked in a place called Sound Arts in Ladbroke Grove, where we used to do our things in WC, and he introduced me, as well as an MC who's down, you know, go give him Versatile E, who's down with Funky DL, who's on Funky DL's first album and stuff like that, and they showed me the MPC, and the rest is the rap, because they kind of showed me the whole concept of bars, because back then rapping, like, man didn't have bars, man just rapped until you rapped in it, like until you felt it was finished. Yeah, the bar ends here, not really thinking like it's got to go, you know, song structure and stuff. And then when I took that into account, I used that knowledge, and then one day I just went in and then I just actually just like learned. I have never read a manual, like I've never read a manual for this, I've never read a manual for 2000, I've never read a manual for that. Like I just figured it out. I don't know how, I'm not like some gifted genius or anything. I failed in my GCSEs, bruv, so like if you ask me, just being alone with the machine and determination, you'll learn and you'll figure it out how to, you know, make some music. So through that, that was my first kind of introduction and showing me the ropes myself, in it, just being thrown into the deep end. But at least I was thrown into the deep end around people who had equipment, you know, or had stuff, because I didn't own anything. It took me a while to get it, but yeah. How I acquired my first MPC was through working with a guy called Moreau, or Mel, everyone's called him Melro. A lot of people from, you know, my cousin Big Up Iron Braids, you know, Blind Alphabets, The Planets, myself and Ram, obviously, we all used the studio in Acton. Numerous other artists used the studio as well. I can't even really pinpoint my name like back then, but this is like, you know, the year 2000, 2001, 2, and literally I used to borrow Melrose MPC 2000, because he always knew I'd come there and make music and pay him for studio time. So he just like, he wasn't using it, he'd rather it go to someone, so he gave it to me, and then he was like, yo, buy it off me, man. You can have it for like $4, and at the time that was a bargain, you know what I mean? But I have to big him up even more because he eventually gave it to me for like $250. So, and on top of that, I have to big up my wife because my wife hooked me up with the $250. So all them kind of combinations. So then I owned the machine, and then the rest is kind of like a wrap. Like I just started actually becoming the official, or seen as the official producer for Two Halves, or you know, the NWC kind of thing what we were doing back then. But yeah, man. Got a big up Melrose for that machine, man, like straight up. I got bare floppy disks, like still, you know what I mean? I even put it on the back of my album cover, you know what I'm saying? Because this machine, I called it Yoda. Yeah, you know, this one here is Luke, but that one, you know what I'm saying? That was the Yoda, man. It wasn't too steep for me. I know it sounds a bit mad because when you make music, there's so many ways to make it. There's no, you have to do it this way, or you have to put in your samples that way, or whatever. There's always a way around it, and that's what I loved about it. With the Yamaha, that was the Yamaha SU10, it was all about timing and samples. And once you had that concept of timing and samples, like if I only had 6 seconds that time on it, then if I sample it in a, you know, speed up my things, then I can sample a lot more. You know what I mean? All I've got to do is slow them down. With the MPC, it was just like quite self-explanatory. You got tracks, you could just learn with the sounds what are in them, what come with them. You got like a record. Like I just kind of like learned from, you know, being around engineers and being around people. Oh, they record me. When they press record, I'm doing vocals. So the same thing must apply to when I go into this screen and I turn on the button and it says track 1, track 2, track 3. Oh, well, I put the hi-hats on one track. Either which way, you know, you don't really need a manual to learn. Maybe I'm just prehistoric, but, you know, like, I think it's easy for anyone as long as you know the concept of timing and music as well. Obviously, the rhythm, you're good. If you know what a bar is, you know what I mean? Then you're good, man. Like, I don't see why anyone should have a problem with it. But then again, you know, I'm an older cat, so yeah, I think the Yamaha was a good kickstarting tool for me. Doesn't mean necessarily for everyone, but for me at that time, you know, little cats couldn't afford MPCs, and if you had one, you know, they were like, you know, £800 upwards, you get me? So that's when I was starting or trying to get in it, you know what I mean? And man didn't have that money, so like, if you really love it and you got passion for music, it doesn't matter really what you use. So I kind of just applied, which I still apply to now, the whole theory of it's not about the car, it's about the driver. And if I can make a piece of music on this, then why can't I apply my knowledge from one piece of equipment and try and apply the way how I use that one piece of equipment to this? Even if it doesn't work, just the whole knowledge, it's all theory based, isn't it? So I feel it's hard to explain. I just feel like if I didn't go through having a less prehistoric piece of equipment, I wouldn't have found it easier to use a more advanced piece of equipment. If you follow what I'm saying, like if I didn't go through shit, then when I come to the roses, it's nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel, I don't know if I've explained myself right, but I just feel it was much more easier moving from that onto the MPC, because with the MPC I just had so much more. It was like a bonus, so much more to mess with. I didn't have 6 seconds or whatever, you know. So it was just so much more to work with. So I feel it was just self-explanatory and easy for me. It takes determination and wanting to do this shit. You know, you'll be there for hours. You know, if you love this music, you'll be there for hours to make fucking 3 minutes worth of fucking jump up around, jump up and down, hear this beat, you get me? So, like, I think it's worth it personally. The equipment I use nowadays, obviously, is what you see before you, the trusty MPC 1000, Luke Skywalker, made the whole of this album. If you don't know about that, so now I've got to get it. This album's kind of open doors for me, so I can't even made all in my kitchen, made everything on it, no keyboards, no other accessories equipment. The only thing I did is I made all the beats in here, and then I took the beats from here and took it to the studio and just put it through separates, tweaked it a little bit for the desk with Jehst, and then bam, that's it, ready for mixing. So the whole album, even arrangements, all the arrangements was done on this. Like not just this sequence, and done like I've done the whole song. Even if I've got a 20-bar verse, I'll make a sequence. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, this is my trusty baby. This is what I love. This is my to be honest with you, man, I'm just like a bit of a one-trick pony, man. Like MPC. Before this, it was the 2000. I've had a 2500 as well. Like just MPC. Always been an MPC. It's like I don't know. I'm just hooked. Now I'm even messing with the plugins and that. Like just MPC though. In terms of whether I prefer software or hardware, I prefer both. The reason being is because I've only now discovered the joys of software and what software brings, but I come from a hardware world. All my albums are all off-plate shit, you know what I mean? Like everything's just, and then you go into the software realm, because without software, what am I playing shit for? You know what I mean? So like, but you can't have one without the other, and it's down to preference. I like to play stuff. If you're a beat maker who likes to play his shit in instead of placing it in, then yeah, you're a hardware person. Doesn't necessarily mean you don't like software, because you need the software to do stems, to, even using the internet to show your beats, that's you still using software B. So either which way, like I think you can't have one without the other, so I say both. Basically, my favorite brand of equipment, when it comes to brand of equipment, is a company called Akai, who make MPCs. Without them, I wouldn't make this album and do what I do. So I'm not hating on any other piece of equipment. It's just preferable to me. Me, myself, and Akai. So that's the brand, man. Like there's some serious beat makers out there killing it with machine. Like you know what I mean. Like even Ninth Wonder be messing with the machine now. Crisis is killing them. Like Knots, like you know what I mean. Here, like sick beat makers use it. It doesn't matter what you use. As I said back then, to the theory is it's not about the car, it's about the driver. But the car I prefer to use, you know what I mean. If I'm Lewis Hamilton, this is my Mercedes, innit? You know what I'm saying? The musical equipment which I would recommend to a beginner, I know you're gonna think I'm biased, but I'd say an MPC or even a machine. It's out of the two, and a laptop. That's what I'd recommend to a beginner. It's not too hard. It's a mixture of both, which is hardware and software combined. And I think it would be easier to start off in the realm of placing your stuff in or messing with it. Like it gives you a bigger playground to discover when you're making music, I feel, compared to, me digging, sampling, going in core straight up in here, chopping up the drums and what have you not. It's much more easier now in the digital age we live in. So I would suggest, a machine, a laptop, or an MPC studio on a laptop. That's good to go. I didn't really choose software over hardware or vice versa. Basically, you need one. You can't have one without the other in terms of my world. So I need both. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a pretty stupid question. So, my views on sampling, obviously, I'm going to talk about PRS and shit. But my views on sampling, to be honest with you, I have no problem with it. I think sampling is needed. Without sampling, a lot of old groups, a lot of people we wouldn't even know about, generations before our generation, are shed to the limelight to new. Take a look at Charles Bradley. Take a look at a lot of stuff, like without people sampling their records, or without people actually, I think without the sample, I think, I'm not trying to take the piss like hip hop would die. I'm not saying hip hop would die, because there's a lot of producers I know now who just makes some ridiculous music and you wouldn't even know, and it's not even sampled. So I take nothing away from that at all. I'm just saying, like, I think sampling is needed to transcend, because when I sample something, people are like, yeah, what did he sample? So they go and check, and just by them checking, they checked out that record, and by they might become a fan. So I think sampling is a very key device to, even down to like vocals, man, you know, like God willing, I met Lord Finesse, and you know what I mean, and you know, he's still like bit about that Fatboy Slim record, because he didn't know at the time what was gonna happen with that record. Like, his voice is the main, check it out now, funk soul brother, like that's it. Like, he got paid, but he didn't know, he could have got a lot more, like, you know what I'm saying? But either which way, that's hip hop, that's sampling, innit? You know, he samples himself, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it takes it, it brings a lot of cultures together, it brings a lot of different genres together, so I think sampling is needed, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for hip hop and me sampling, I wouldn't, I'm a sick fan, I love prog rock, like people don't even know that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I fucking love prog rock music now, like, on a level of, yeah, I can hear loops and shit in it, but just, I listen to it, like Hatfield and North, I just put the shit on, like, whatever, you know what I mean? Daddy's Child or whatever, like just some shit to other people are listening to, man. Like, but that's what hip hop does. It opens your ears to different genres of music, you know, to the point where you love them. You know what I mean? Like, I think the past couple of years back, my best albums haven't even been hip hop albums, just off the strength of making music. You know what I mean? So there you go, man. You need sampling, man. To me, it's been calling to Micall Parknsun to me something, I feel. Like, even people who play stuff, yeah, it's cool, but you might have heard something and then played it again. So, yeah, that's how I see it. I can't front, man. Like, I think the genre I sample the most overall, because I sample a lot of stuff, but the first thing I usually grab for is a lot of soundtrack stuff. I tend to go for like a lot of certain artists, you know, like once you find an artist or, you know, a break you like or a sample you like, and then like you just follow them all the time, like you just check for them, or anything you see a record and it's got their name, you just pick it up just off the strength of that. Like I love a lot of sound like Francois Durambois, like Morricone. I don't mind telling you these guys, because a lot of people know these guys anyway, like, but they don't sample the shit I sample. You know what I mean? So, Roger Davey, a lot of library stuff, like KPM joints. I really like to just go for a lot of music. I'm not hating on the soul. I think I've started to get into that lately now, but you know, that is what I usually go for. If I go for soul, like I think one of the first records I did, like it was Lamont Dozier. I think I sample him, but I usually always tend to go for soundtracks, like all the time, or for the TV stuff or advert, you know what I mean, like type of rare 70s shit, or you know what I mean, I like that. I don't usually share my sample info, no. But if you were to pull me aside and ask me, I'll tell you, man. Like, I don't think it's really asking it. I don't think it's my duty to tell you what I took. That's the whole fun in it. Like, I don't think it ain't. I think it would be fun if I just put out this. Like, that's why I was a bit disjointed, but I understood, like, when certain hip hop artists, but it had to happen, innit? Like, eventually, you know, when you would go and buy the new Gangstar record and just look. And I remember back in the day, I'd look just to see who Primo sampled, or just to see what he used, like, or what, you know what I mean, like what song, raw, and then you check the song out and you'd be like, raw, like, you know. So I don't, some people are like, nah, like, I think it's all, to me it's a treasure hunt game, so, you know, I don't see why people should be justified to tell the masses who they sampled. I think the only person, if anything, they should tell who they sampled is the person they sampled, if it's going to be sold, like, in every house and home. But most of the time it ain't anyway, but I just think, you know, they should be told at least, or whatever. that, yo, just gonna sample. I disagree with all this permission shit. Like, I'm telling you, I'm sampling this, it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? This is it. That's just me. That's my ideology. I've told you, I'm letting you know, yo, I won't put this out. Half the time, 9 times out of 10, like if you were to go and holler at them, you know, it becomes a hit, man, and then they be cussing, yo, they didn't let me know, you know what I mean? So, ain't nothing wrong with that. In terms of digging, it's everything. Vinyl, YouTube, depending on my mood, and depending on whether sometimes I'm a bit lazy. Sometimes I might have the record and I can't even be bothered to turn the motherfucker on. And I'll just go get the same thing off YouTube. I've got the record here. But it depends on how you are. I personally, I think with records, it's a lot warmer sound, but it doesn't really depend. It depends, because I think the sound overall of your beat at the end of the day ain't gonna matter if it's coming out the MP. It matters when it's coming out the stereo and it's already mastered, so you've got enough time to adjust your sound and make it sound right between the time of sampling or making the beat to it being out. So I'm not really fussed at a lot of sound quality to begin with. I only get fussed about it when it's time to mix, and you know, I've already done my arrangement around the rapper or whatever. So in terms of that, it doesn't really matter. I'm not fussed whether it's vinyl, whether it's YouTube, whether it's an MP3, whether it's a WAV. It doesn't really matter. Does it sound good? Well, then that's what matters. So, fuck, you know what I mean? I had some cats talk about, oh, it's not vinyl, it's sample from vinyl, though. You like his beats? Shut the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't get me wrong, man. There's people that I know, like, oh, why are you using vinyl? It's like, shut up, man. You know what I mean? Like, I use what the fuck I want to use. I ain't telling you why you're using MP3 or why you're using, you know, let people use what they want to use. That's the whole joy of music, innit? You know, you got people trying to, you know, turn trumpets upside down and make the next type sounding things. Let the motherfucker do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what music's about, innit? Experimentation and trying to leap bounds and even down songs. Trying to just do your own thing, innit? Your own individual thing. Because that's why I started making music. To something I heard in my head, innit? You know, when you hear something in your head, I used to get pissed off when I was rapping. Yo, I want something like this. You know what I mean? And no one gets it. So that's why I started making beat. You know what I mean? Like, if I make a beat, then I know what I'm making, and then I know how to approach it as a rapper, because I rap in it. So I'm not really, you know what I mean? Music's music, bro. Do what you want to do it how you want to do it. My top 3 producers and why, I can't really pinpoint on it, but you kind of really know. The reason being is because, as far as I'm concerned, I think they've pioneered. We all know they've always been mentioned, but in terms of sound, a lot of other producers who I mentioned earlier, like, they wouldn't be here, innit, without them man, innit. So when you put it that way, really and truly, real talk, it's like, obviously Dilla, yeah, right? That's for like this generation. Before that generation, like Primo, I wanted to go really into like how Easy would be, because if it wasn't for Easy would be, a lot of stuff would be done in it, even Marley Marl. But it's like, without Marley Marl you wouldn't have no Pete Rock, but without Pete Rock you wouldn't have a lot of like the golden era, as far as I'm concerned. Like, that is my whole encapsulation of hip hop. And if you look at it, it's like Primo, Pete Rock, Dilla, innit? Dilla just before the era died off, innit? You can't be, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, those are the top 3. Because everyone has a certain style in it. Like, everyone has, you know, like Primo, everyone bites, bitten something from one of them 3. Everyone makes a beat. I don't give a damn what you say. But, you know, it's like straight up. Like, they go, oh no, not really, I'm trying to find my own. But it's like, you wouldn't be able to try to find your own if it weren't for them motherfuckers. So, kind of like lay down the tracks. I tell you, I think it's like mad slept on, man. Like, I forgot to mention it, man. Like, I really feel Alchemist. I feel like Rock Mars. Leaf though, like, beatbox. He be playing this crazy shit. Like, what the f? Mr. Thing obviously doing this album. I'm still like, you know, to be honest with you, yeah, man, like 7th Dan, yourself. No, ain't no one really coming with like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even trying to hate, like, it's just me as a fan, innit? Like, oh, totally forgot, man. Like, fucking cosign. I think that cat, man. Like, he slept on. A lot of people don't really know about Eat God and them guys there. But, yeah, he's a slept on cat. His beats are sick, you know what I mean? So, me. That's it, yo. Oh yeah, Shane, you know, Strange You, innit? Like, you know, Zygo and Cashmere. I have to get that straight. It's Zygo and Cashmere. You know what I mean? They're making music together as well. So yeah, that's it. This tune was taken off this album. I just thought I'd play it just to show that I made it on this. It's called My Own Worst Enemy. If people don't know, here, check it out. I used the drums. The drums that I actually used are actually from Billie Jean. I loved it. They're kind of like my favourite drums, but I just, you know, added a B-line and shit. Back to the soundtrack thing, as I said. Ennio Morricone. Again, you know what I mean? And yeah, bro, just I kind of like simplified it. I wanted to obviously do a song, which meant something, but just switch it up, you know what I mean? Put a little switch in the sample in there as well. But I just like, you know, more choppy stuff, like chopped up type stuff. But I know it sounds kind of mad because the drums are like mad choppy, like you need a chopped up sample. But I just wanted it to flow with the loop, you know what I mean? And that sounds crazy, but yeah, man, I'm really proud of this song. I really like this song because I made it, and then like I knew as soon as I made the beat, instantly like I'm gonna do the song, which is called My Own Worst Enemy, and I knew like I even arranged it, so I've arranged everything out to, you know what I mean? We were trying to find the energy. This is it. Should I quit? Should I let it be? Bill of spliff, I'll admit that I am a fiend. Cause when I mean it's very hard doing anything, but in my element I'm heavy like an elephant. On the road doing shows, never settling. On the phone to the kids say I'm missing them. Said I heard, but you know I ain't listening. I do give a shit. I know what, you know what I mean? Like it was just some heartfelt shit, you know what I mean? And I've never really covered that on my albums before. So everything arranged on it is the way how it is on the album. Other than it being mixed. This is straight out of the machine, obviously. But yeah, man, really proud of this shit. Another one off the album. Self-explanatory, really. I just wanted to make a beat with a bit of a blow. And I made it straight off this. I even used MOP samples. I've got the record here, you know what I mean? Just get this record right here. I even got it signed by them, man. The other day I was supporting them with Leaf Dog, so yeah. Big up MOP, man. You know what I mean? Billy Dan's. This is a fucking banger, by the way. People don't know about this joint. Get to know. Pounds Up, yeah? DITC. Heroes of shit. Basically, just like blow, innit? Like, you know? Everything, bassline, everything on this, no keyboard, no nothing, bro. Just, you know what I mean? Even though. But yeah, everything on that shit, man. Like, I just, you know, this is like, funny enough, this is like the last joint recorded for the album. Because it was like one of like, yeah, It's one of the last beats made for the album, but just kind of hard as the shit, man. I've always wanted to make a beat like this. The sounds and the chopped up songs remind me of Work in Progress by Kev Brown, like that type of, you know, just chopping up the fucking shit. I even sometimes freak shit, like I even like fuck around with the original beat, make a beat that no one will ever hear, just a different, you know what I mean, like you ever do some shit like that. No, let me see if I got it on here, real quick, see if it's here. You heard Blau and Tang. This is the sample. I don't know if it's some Italian shit or what, like I can't even remember the break. Oh, it's an Indian break, in fact, let me play you. This is what the, you know. You know what I mean? Some Indian stuff. I think I sped it up or slowed it down, obviously, as you can hear. But this is it. And then you just add some drums. It's a 6-bar loop, by the way. 3. You know what I'm saying? But you know, all the greats use 6-bar loops. The drums and the bass line and shit, you know, like. Is the bass? Sometimes, like a lot of my beats, when I make my beats, I make the beat first, and then I get a sample to match it, and then I change around, obviously. And sometimes I adjust it, take the kick out to make the kick go with it. You know what I mean? The sample with it. Ready to hear this body somewhere soon. Don't want to mention who will be on it, but I love this beat. Yeah, this here, it's a new beat, another beat. I usually do the drums first, as I'll explain. Yeah, you know, that's sinister shit. This is the sample. Drums be like, you know what I mean? So what I usually do, yeah, obviously I make my drums first. I don't, you know, if I want to add a B line or whatever, you know, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's cool, but I mean, I don't add no B line until I found my sample, my music to go in my drums, because obviously, you know, that's the only time then you can find a B line. You know, so I'm just gonna show you something right now. This is the music together. Always have an intro and shit. But yeah, the shit has to be in sync. Like. like some Mob Deep shit. But then I add my bass line, hats, everything. So obviously this is coming straight out of the machine, but what I tend to do is the swing's just got to fit in the pocket. You know what I mean? The bass line. You know what I mean? Just fit like whatever sample you've got. Just freak it a bit, because I don't believe in that. I believe in that. Ba-dum boom. I'm one of them more, you know, when it comes to drums and putting loops together, like I'm more, it feels more fluent instead of, what's the word, stiff. Obviously none of my stuff is quantized, I don't use quantized, because I just like it to sound more natural, innit, so, you know what I mean. But yeah, wait for this shit to come out. I love my bass lines, man. To be honest with you, I don't think I'll mess with a bass line. I think I started more getting hardcore into bass lines when obviously Kev Brown came out, like Jazzy Jeff era. When that shit was out, that's when I was like, yeah, nah, I need to add bass, man. Work, man. They got a bass trying to filter the sample to take the bass out of the sample. But now, yeah. Now I've got my tone, because another thing, my bass tone, like everything is off this machine, you know. So I found my bass hit, even though I've got drums. I'll just play drums for a second. And then I play the bass line in. Now some simple shit. I might make another beat with this shit, man. All I need is like a piano hit. Just simple. I basically turn my bass. You get a bass sound what comes with the MPC called R Bass 1. I just basically take it off on a note off. This is a little bit, I don't know, technical or cliche or guru, but when you go into the program settings, when you're actually assigning sounds to pads, you can go to the sound, open a window and take it. So it's just, the longer I hold it, the longer it plays. And I find the tune, obviously I put it in the filter it down, you know, and then I've got 16 levels which I put it through on the MP. No keyboard, just the fucking 16 buttons, man. So I'm good in it, like, you know what I mean? So that's how I usually do my bass. This one I didn't do too long ago, just to show you in terms of matching drums, how I usually do stuff. Obviously I make my drums first. I'll just play the beat first, 1 second. It's so simple. And then sometimes, you know what I mean? I always usually tend to add open hi-hats in my stuff, so it goes with the shit, like, you know. And then obviously, you know, the sample is this. I'm fucking with a lot of library records, but a lot of library mood type shit, you know. show you the bass line, I'll take the sample out. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, like, even if it might sound out of tune on its own, but when you play it with the music, it goes. Basically what I do. To be honest with you, yeah, shit. 3 to 4 times out of 5 I usually do this, you know. But I'll show you something real nice. Oh yeah, I didn't even show you this other bit. I always tend to use another bit. You can use it as a chorus, you can use it as a bridge, you can use it just for some cuts. It's just nice to just have a breakaway of just the usual monotony in the song sometimes. So that's why I do that shit and it comes back like. This one ain't even out yet. I don't know if I gave this song, but yeah, it's a banging beat. Let's play you it, man. Outlandish type shit. And loops, man. I like to loop a lot of stuff as well. Filter, you know what I mean? Fuck it up. For the rappers and shit. Sometimes you can flip it high, you know. No bass. No bass thing, sample and shit. Freak the sample as well. It's just jamming. Yeah, man, that's all I do, man. I just mess with this shit. You know what I mean? But drums, man. Drums are a must. Yeah, just like fucking like looping up stuff which is mad obscure. Or trying to fuck with the one thing that no one would have thought fucking with. Because that's the problem, man. Everyone's trying to fuck with something else. Even if you like a record what you know Dilla might have used or something, use a bit he didn't use. You ever think about that? You know what I'm saying? So let's go into these drums. Basically, I'm just gonna go through the run through of how I did a remix for Sonny Jim, the remix of Royal Flush from his How to Tame Lions project, which is out now. By the time you see this, it will already be still out. But I just wanted to see what, like, I start off with drums as always. So let's just find some drums and show you what I started off with. Let's mute that. Like, just a normal, like, you know, that's my hat. because I've got a lot of kicks in, so I take the hats out to basically make the kicks, you know. We go to the snares are early. You know what I mean? Because it's got hats on them. Told you Michael Jackson drums, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I added a sample. The sample is this, which you might have heard, obviously. Bass and shit. You know, that's how I tend to usually do my things, man. Obviously, I add a couple of other sequences to it, you know, like extra hits and stuff like that. You know, I demonstrate now. You know, just a little thing. The end of the 8th, do a little, you know what I mean? Yeah, he killed it, man. But yeah, like this is how I usually construct my stuff. Sometimes you just gotta let the music flow. You know, just hops. Some simple shit, bass line. You know what I mean? The key factor is though, all the time, what I usually do is to get my bass sounding right. Like I'll try and get it just for a second. You gotta keep on the takes, as I said, back to, you know. You know what I mean? Simple hits. You don't need to do all this crazy beeline shit. If it suits the music, that's all you need. Right now, they don't even sound like bass lines. They sound like someone farting. But, you know what I'm saying? But yo, that's the P style. You know what I mean? This fattens up your kick. I usually tend to learn and analyze people's sounds. Even beats I love, I just listen to them over and over again sometimes. I'm like, raw, if you put your bass line over this kick here, that's where the B line's meant to be with the kick, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, little tricks of the trade like that, sometimes they go a long way and they help. Not like this is an advice class, because, you know, you are your own teacher. But, this is how you make shit out of chicken scraps, bro. Get me?